5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me. Level up, 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 level up.
What is your area like? What are the surroundings? Make sure there's nothing, bad going on in the neighborhood, or there's no, like nobody gonna be stealing your car, like stuff you ain't gotta worry about. Like really look into that. Don't just, go live somewhere just because you can afford it. You have to really look at the area because you also want to be safe too. How close is it to your job? If you have a job, you really gonna have to know that, like, if you take the bus, for instance, you don't want to be sitting on the bus for like 3 freaking hours trying to come from home to go to work, because that's gonna cause you to lose your job. Like, nah, it makes sense. Let it be at least like 45 minutes, or something from where you stay if you ride in a bus. Now, if you have a car, you have a little more room to, the distance. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna move here because it's this much and I can afford it. And I mean, that's good that you can afford it, but what goes it if you can afford it and you don't have a job to go to no more because you're always late? You can't afford it no more. So yeah. Also, is there room for your furniture? So if you're coming from your parents' house and y'all left on good terms and whatnot, or wherever you're coming from, and you're moving, make sure that the space you move to, there's enough stuff for your furniture. You don't want to be crammed and have too much stuff. But it's good that if you do have too much stuff and like you already have in your mind that you want to sell some of that stuff, there are apps like Let Go that you can sell your furniture on, and you'll get like a lot of good money for it. I personally have used it and I made a little slight change for selling stuff that I don't want. So yeah, I do recommend using that. Are pets allowed? Now, if you have pets and you want to move into the apartment, you do have to pay a pet fee. I know for some apartments it's a one-time pet fee, so like when you're moving in, you have to pay a separate deposit on top of your deposit for the apartment. You have to pay a pet deposit, and it can range from anywhere to $45 to $400. Now, sometimes it's a one-time fee, but depending on how luxurious the apartment is that you're moving into, it might be a monthly separate rent that you have to pay for that pet. So just also keep that in mind too. Like, you don't want to be adding extra bills onto yourself when you can't afford it. I mean, some of y'all can afford it and you can do it. By all means, go ahead, do y'all. But for people who are like me, nah. If you know that you ain't gonna be able to afford it right now, don't do it. Take care of you first and then get a pet later, alright? So, or if you have a roommate, you can do that. I mean, it's still gonna be, it ain't gonna be as much as if you was living by yourself, but there's still money that you could be saving and putting away for yourself that you're gonna be having to spend on a pet on top of the food stuff that you're getting for the pet. Nah, that's unnecessary money that's being spent. How much natural light comes into your space? So I know for mine, because it's kind of studio-like / one bedroom, I don't have a window in here, but in my living room I have a window and I get great natural sunlight. Like the sun naturally comes in my living room, so I think that's perfect for me. But it's also really important because like during the daytime you don't want to keep your lights on, so you want that natural sunlight so that you can only use your lights for at night, when you need it, because you ain't trying to shoot that light bill up. Nah. But are the kitchen facilities updated for your cooking habits? All right, so when you're going into a new apartment and you're doing a tour, make sure that the kitchen is right for you. Like, if you're not gonna be cooking and you're just gonna be like warming up stuff in the microwave, you don't need no grand kitchen. All you need is your microwave, sometimes the oven for them pizza rolls and shit, then that's one thing you can take off your list, because it honestly, it costs more to live in an apartment with updated appliances. It does cost more because it's like, it's new, that's added on to your rent. But if you're just gonna be chilling, making you just need something to make your noodles in, your hot pockets and your pizza rolls, you're straight with regular appliances, guys. Before you move in and you do your apartment tour and you've already pretty much decided that that's the apartment that you want, you always want to double check everything, like while you're doing the apartment tour. Like, you want to make sure the lights are good. Like, I know when I first moved in here, my bedroom light, the bulb was broke, so somebody had to come replace that, but I made sure they replaced it before I moved in, because baby, no, get that right, you know what I mean? Make sure the electrical sockets work, you know. Make sure the plumbing and water work. You don't want to freaking on your first night move in and you got to take a dump, and then you find out after you take a dump that the toilet don't damn work. It don't work. What? And you don't got a plunger. Now, if you're smart, when you first move in, you gonna have all of that stuff ready, so you gonna be prepared for any and everything. Check that thing out. Don't be scared. They want you to do that. They want to make sure that it's ready for you. Now, sometimes they only show you the display apartments, like the apartment models, but they won't show you your actual one. Fortunately, they showed me my actual apartment, so I was checking out everything, making sure it worked. But sometimes they only show you the models. Now, when it comes to that, if you decide that's the apartment you want, you know, you pay your deposit and all you have to do is go look at your actual apartment, do it then. Like, because they will let you. Like, they're not just gonna let you move in and shit don't work and you can't test it out. Like, yeah, do it then. Storage space, make sure you have a lot of storage. If you don't have that much stuff, a studio or one bedroom won't be a problem for you. Like, get that. It's smart. Unless you have a roommate and you're getting a 2-bedroom and y'all sharing a double the space. Another thing is, like, if you don't have a bed and you plan on getting a bed, get a bed with storage, like, so you can knock it out. Like, you could get a small chest or just a nightstand or something, but if you get a bed with storage with like 4 drawers, you'd be great. Like, you could put your clothes in there. Make sure the locks work. You don't want nobody breaking into your apartment, or especially if the area that you live in is kind of right there. Definitely want to check all of this stuff out on your list. Like, make a list and check this stuff off. You need to know this, okay? You want to stay up to date and know, when is your rent due? When is your rent due? You need to know that. For some apartments, you can do it online. They tell you, like, you can pay your bill online. They tell you when it's due. They have auto pay, all of that good stuff. Like, they got you set. All you gotta do is have the funds, you know. That's it. Usually rent is due like first of the month, and they'll give you a grace period if you're late sometimes. Oh, your lease. When you're reading your lease, you want to make sure that you understand everything within your lease agreement, so that should something happen, you know that you're not breaking or violating your lease and you get kicked out. Like, nah, because that ain't cool, and it don't look good on your record for, like, if you an eviction does not look good on your record if you're trying to get another apartment. It's gonna make it 10 times as hard for you, because even if they do accept you, you're gonna have to pay a whole nother separate deposit. Now sometimes I will say, if you don't have credit, which some of us don't, I know I didn't, so when I applied to my apartments, I had to pay a separate deposit just because I didn't have credit. I had to pay like a $400 deposit. Yeah, but you know, if you do have credit, you don't have to pay an extra one. And well, no, yeah, you don't have to pay an extra one, but the deposit that you do pay, you get that money back once you move out, just as long as there's nothing wrong with the apartment. You didn't leave any like scratches or something, like you didn't mess up the apartment and it's still in good condition, then you will get that deposit back. So yes, I will say that. And they are really good with new time renters like myself. Apartments work great with you, especially depending on the area that you live in. Like, sometimes they give you student discounts. And make sure when you're moving out that you ask for move-in specials. A lot of apartments have move-in specials when you're moving in. Like, all you have to do is ask. They usually tell you when you first walk in there to try to convince you to, you know, to at least get through with the tour. But I probably will do a part 2 to this video because I feel like I'm leaving out some things. But if you guys do like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe. And I see a lot of y'all have been watching my other video, but you're not subscribed. What? No, subscribe. Like, come on, don't break my heart like that. Subscribe. But yeah, until our next video, guys, I really do appreciate all of y'all who have subscribed and who have been watching. Like, I appreciate that. Like, that makes me feel good. So yeah, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Bye, y'all.